What's happening, friend? Today we're going to talk about the comparison of the Runner Plus and the old Runner. Is it worth the money to upgrade if you've got the standard? Or should you save up and get the new one if you don't have the old one? Let's just find out, because you guys have been asking this question and I'm going to get back to you. Alright, so just to jump into it real quick, let's see. Yeah, we're looking at a $500 difference still between the two bikes, which is quite a bit, but you got to think about what it is that you're getting. It's coming with the passenger package, it's getting the LCD display, it's getting the headlight upgrade, the gears, the suspension, and I will say that I've been able to ride the Plus for a little bit, and it is exactly like you would imagine the Plus being. It's the Runner but with suspension. It's got those gears. I mean, it's everything in a bike. The Plus has everything that the Runner standard should have had. If you've watched my first review on the first Runner, I think a lot of my downsides to the bike were the facts that they had changed for the Plus. It was like Rad watched the review and was like, okay, we're going to boom, 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 add this, change this, and give them the bike that they want. And they did it. Will I personally upgrade to the Plus, even though I've got the old Runner? Probably not. And the reason why is because I have the Rover. If I didn't have the Rover to go off trail in, I would probably do that. I would upgrade the old Runner to the Plus. But there's really no need for me to do that since I've got the Rover. If I want to jump curbs and hit the trails with a bike, I can do so with that. You are still getting a pretty good deal on the Plus, even though it is $500 more, because of all those extras that come with it. I don't see it ever being a bad investment. These bikes are phenomenal, and yes, to clarify on it, me personally, no, I would not buy the Plus, but if I did not have the Rover, then yes, I would probably upgrade and get the Plus. Which bike is better, the Rover or the Runner? Okay, if you want to compare those two bikes, let's just say, okay, if we were to compare those two, to make it fair, we'd have to compare the Plus to the Rover. The standard Runner isn't even gonna come close. Okay, so now that we've got the right players involved, the Rover and the Plus Runner, let's go ahead and say, well, the Runner Plus is completely getting into its own realm. Back in my day, when I was a kid, we had a mountain bike to choose from and a BMX bike, and that was it. If you wanted to go off on the trails, you bought a mountain bike. If you wanted to hit the streets, you bought a BMX bike. This whole e-bike world has changed. Like, we're evolving too fast, and mankind can't keep up with it because we don't know what kind of bike we should get. The Runner Plus is like that next evolution. I think a lot of people are going to find with the Runner Plus that they can get by with that bike better than they can with the Rover. Because it's got the small tires, you can go farther, you can go faster. The fact that it's got the passenger package option. Now imagine, like, I'm thinking right now, the most people that I know on a personal basis that have the Rover, they buy it for hunting. Which is typical because you're hitting trails and you're, going off-road. Now imagine having the Runner Plus for hunting, and how much better that would actually be. You'd have the suspension, so you wouldn't get bumped off the bike when you'd hit bumps, and I see that passenger package being a huge extra to where if you're hitting a trail and you've got a pack board on, that's gonna be able to sit behind you on that passenger seat and take a lot of that weight off. Like, you've got a whole storage compartment back there, basically. That's pretty freaking cool. That's something you wouldn't get, you wouldn't really get with the Rover unless you had that little extra case thing that mounts to the back, but we're not going to talk about that. It's amazing what you get when you have suspension on that Runner Plus versus the old one. Like, you think just suspension in the front of the bike is not going to make any difference in the back, but it does. It like completely softens everything from the front to the back. And that's the one thing I noticed when I jumped a curb on that Plus. Sorry, Hannah, you didn't know about that, but I did. I jumped your bike to break it in for you. But yeah, it's you know, between those two bikes, I want to say you could probably, the majority of the people that buy the Rover would get by just fine with the Runner. Because I know you ain't hitting no rocks and ruts, are you? You're taking that thing up old logging roads. You're taking it up old game trails that are smooth. Like, or have you really put that thing to the test where you're thinking, good thing I got some fat tires on this bad boy? Maybe you are. But let's think about for an e-bike in the first place. We buy an e-bike to get places, and the Runners has smaller tires. That's going to get you farther on one charge. So yes, the Runner Plus should and will, I think, triumph. It already has, I think. On their website it says that it's their number one selling bike, but I think that's because there's a lot of people buying these bikes that live in the cities. Maybe it has already caught on. I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's one of the Radrunner is their top selling bike. But so that's pretty much it, guys. I wanted to break it up, tell you guys what I knew, and hopefully you found some valuable information on this video. I know it's a tough decision to make with any of these e-bikes, but I can tell you what I own between the two and what I would choose. So anyways, you guys, see you next time. Thanks for watching and stay fresh.